This is a world where we declare war. How to respond to a world when people are telling you no. That you can't.
They want you to walk in the door and be professional, bring your picture and your resume, you come in there straight, and then what? Talking on the phone. Just rude, just completely rude.
I think hiccups come so that they teach us lessons, and sometimes we have to roll with it and see where it lands us, and luckily this is landing me still in a good place.
Here we go.
So you're going back.
Some more acting stories.
I love just being around artists, right?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi. Some wine and some cheese and crackers and stuff over there. So come on over. Like, we're ready to hear these stories you guys have to tell us.
Got anything to drink for the adults?
Oh yeah, there's adult drinks, baby.
I was one of those people who figured out that I was an artist long before I figured it out, but long before I was willing to own it. Because as you were saying, Marie, parents have these expectations, especially my famous mother. Actually, she wanted me to be a gynecologist.
You guys have the same mothers?
No.
No, just kidding.
I don't know. I don't like the sight of blood, and second of all, it's like, can you imagine looking at that all day?
Yeah.
Well,
No, I can't.
Okay, as a girl, okay?
One of my many perks. Say
Oh, it's like you being a urologist.
no, not.
There you go.
Or proctology. Yeah. But anyway.
So, I guess most of my life was spent trying to get mom's approval. I guess a lot of us, either mom or dad or whoever your parent is. And it's always the person that you have the harder time getting their approval of. So I guess one of my defining moments was I was on medical leave for my job. This happened maybe about a couple of years ago, but less than 2 years ago. I was on medical leave for my job. I'd been auditioning along with trying to deal with doctors and trying to get my own health back in order. And auditioning from like February on through like June, and that was when I had lunch with my Shakespeare teacher. And he's one of those guys, he keeps me on track. He's taught at Juilliard and NYU, and if anything, he knows the real deal. He's seen it. And, he's taught at Juilliard for 20 years, NYU for however long. And so I just had to vent to him, and I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on. I've been auditioning. There was one week when I was going to 6 auditions in a week.
Wow.
There were, and it was one of those like every week or every other week I had an audition, and I was venting to him. I'm like, what is going on? It's like, am I wasting my time? Am I spinning my wheels? Da, 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 da. And he was like, well, do you want to be cast? I'm like, yes. And he goes, well, that's part of the breaks. So lunch went on, and then towards the end, he got up, excused himself. I went to check my voicemail, and apparently I'd gotten a call saying that they wanted me to do a part in King Lear, which was my first Shakespeare role on stage.
Nice.
So when he came back, I told him the news, and he said, well, my dear, you should complain more often. Maybe you'll get cast more. And I think and I turn to that story, I guess, whenever there's times when I really feel like, there's a dry season, because every artist hits those. And, and I was telling, my Shakespeare teacher as a follow-up on that, well, what about my mother? She complains all the time. And he goes, well, she'll just never get cast. So
complaining is your voice pretty good.
Or at least venting.
Okay, I need a drink after that story. This is my famous shot here while I'm filming you guys. At the end of the day, We're all still here. We're all artists. We're all pursuing our careers.
Although I don't know if I'm all in one piece.
Well, it's okay.
You are in one piece. You are.
I'm not up here.
As an artist, you don't have to be, right?
The good ones aren't. The good ones aren't. in one
Abstract.
piece.
I don't want to be in one.
That's what I'm saying. The good ones aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're all
like,
kind of crazy.
We're all
There's a
crazy.
lot of
I say I
beauty.
stay.
Stay crazy to stay sane.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
There's a lot of beauty in fragmentation.
It is.
Yeah.
Perfection is somewhat overrated.
It is.
More than
And it's
anything,
boring.
it's a devil's tool because
Yeah.
so many people strive for this pseudo perfection and something that doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
And while you're trying to attain that, you're missing out on every other thing.
The beauty of the mundane. You know what I
Indeed,
mean?
beauty is in imperfection.
I think you need to go get a glass. So that you can have a toast with this crew here as we say goodbye to our audience.
I say let's raise a glass to changing times.
I agree.
Okay.
Cheers.
Indeed, cheers.
Indeed.
And since we've been talking about our journey and how no matter what obstacles we're faced with, we continue onward. And our goal for this show is not only to inspire other actors, but to inspire people in their journey of life, that when you want something and you want to do it, you just don't give up and you continue moving forward. So speak to that.
There is greatness that will happen, and I just have to continue on the journey and enjoy the journey, even in the frustrated moments that we may have, because I know that I know that I know that I know. Like, you know, when you sit down in this chair that is going to hold you, you have to know that your time is going to come for what you put your energy, time, and focus on.
All right.
Good.
Cheers.
Each and every one of us, not just in this room, but out in the street, all around life. You know, with the gift of life that we got, it's incumbent upon us to, number one, explore yourself so you can accept yourself, therefore you can love yourself. Because, you know, once you do truly accept and love yourself, much of life just falls into line.
Cheers. To love, to love, to love, to love.
Carlotta, she was a film star. She's done like pretty much the whole gamut of the arts and everything, from the stage to God knows what. And at the end, she actually says, "I'm still here."
We're still here. Cheers.
After everything, still here.
I love this. This is how you get like toasted, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yes.
Know what it is you want to do and just stick to it. And be willing to create your own things. Don't just wait for someone else to have a role for you.
There you go.
Yeah, cheers. That's a good cheers.
I like that.
I like that.
Go with your gut. The hell with what people say. Go for that.
There you go.
Awesome. I love that. As we talked about in other episodes, how we're raw and we're naked and we're so open because we want to share with you. So if there's anything that you take from our show, is to be fearless and bold and daring. I teach a film class. I tell my students, if you don't try on the suit, you will never know if it fits.
That's true.
Right,
So
exactly.
that's what I'm gonna leave with the closing words. So goodbye, world. And Actors Life the
Peace.
series says, see you later. Bye. Cheers.
Know thyself.
Know thyself, James says. Cheers. I love it.
All right.
Cheers. Know thyself.
Clink, 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 clink.
Cling, cling, cling.
I dare you to declare war on your passion and your dreams by any means necessary. And so what if you have to work at McDonald's, or you have to work to feed your family or to pay the bills? Who cares? Because as long as the other hours that you spend are spent on your passion and spent on your family and spent on the things that you love, hey, nothing else matters. Be inspired.
The only profession that exists is either you're a doctor, engineer, or lawyer.
I'm a little black kid from South Korea, right? And yeah, you know, I think like many of us, you know, we're all artists first in terms of the medium in which we pursue it.
I was a regular little black boy in Baltimore. Big glasses, big head, big lips, big feet. Everything in the middle was skinny.
My beginnings were, you know, I was raised an extremely religious household, Muslim, and my father was the imam or the minister of this community.
I've had pivotal moments to where I was frustrated, I cried.
But could not consider me seriously for the role of Cinderella's prince because they didn't know how the audience would take to Cinderella having a black prince.
So I get there and I couldn't do it. I just like had a meltdown.